Greetings and salutations, friends. Tim's going to do the Batman. Yep, there it is. Don't worry. I told him he could do it only until the glasses fell off 3 times. We won't even make it past the first game. Psh, that's what. Poop. 1. Today I put the first 3 Arkham games to the test. To see. Is it good? V, I don't think they're going to fall off. You're doing a lot better than I thought you would. Yeah, but the inside of the mask is really gross. Yeah. First up is Arkham Asylum. You know, it's funny. I never grew up with the Batman animated series. Why? Because as a small child, once I was introduced to Dragon Ball Z, anything that came on the television that wasn't hilarious or Dragon Ball Z sent me into a blind rage most of the time, where I would just turn it off and say, no! No, you're not Dragon Ball Z, I'm not watching you. Don't worry. Don't you worry, I'm ashamed enough for the both of us. But it's funny! Even though I never watched that cartoon, I always imagined Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman. It just goes to show you that he's Batman, and always will be Batman. You are a legend, sir. Thank you for your service. And when I think of the Joker talking, I pretty much always think of Mark Hamill's Joker. Which, again, shows you how transcendent their performances were. Yeah, the music, the look, the feel, the voices, the gameplay. All of it. Somehow borrowed from the last 20 years of Batman stuff, and yet somehow managed to be its own thing. These games amaze me. And just so you know, I didn't turn my unbiased powers on. Even though I've played all these games a lot and, you know. I don't need to, not with the Batman mask on. For the pure unbridled might of justice is enough to overpower any biases I may have. Seriously though, even playing the first 30 minutes of this game, it's Batman. You get a little taste of all Batman. It's getting it pretty good, and it definitely is been upon later. Next is Arkham City. I'm gonna need to turn them on, because justice unbiased powers activate. Somehow, some way, they did it even better than the first one. And they didn't even... And you don't even start off as Batman, you start off as Catwoman. That counts. 2, same Mito combat system with Catwoman, and then you get to play as Bruce Wayne. And then you get to play as Bruce Wayne beating the shit out of Penguin. And then you get to see him suit up. And then you get to glide around the city for a second and beat up a bunch of Steve Blooms. And then you get to save Catwoman. And then you get shot at and get to be a detective. And then Harley. Yeah, I'm staring. It's 2026. That's not taboo anymore. That video game characters. Look at that wagon she-dragon. And all of that within the first 30 minutes of me playing. It's getting up pretty good. And it definitely is spent upon later. And finally, we have Arkham Origins. And here's where things calm down. Just a little bit. The voice of Batman is different. Not bad, just different. It made me want to punch boulders. For some reason, he's a lot angrier in this one and has some trouble holding his punches because he just became Batman, so much so that people don't even know who Batman is. I guess justice took such a toll on his psyche that it changed his voice and mannerisms over the years. The music? Still Batman. The look? Still Batman. Still Arkham Batman. Just cruder. The gameplay? Still Arkham. Yeah. Now I will say real quick. If I hadn't already known what made Killer Croc by whatever made up Batman disease he has changed him, the look of him, over the years. Where he looks like this in Asylum and then he looks like this in Night. He's a monstrosity. Seeing him look like this in Origins would have made me grumpy. I forgot I'm supposed to not remember any of my past experience. Why does Killer Croc look like that? It makes me grumpy. The first 30 minutes of gameplay is you going to a prison and the old commissioner, who's not Gordon at the time, gets killed, and then there's Black Mask and there's no Joker, and Batman's got a bunch of cool assassins after him. It's pretty Batman. It's getting it good, and it definitely expanded upon later. This one's going to Arkham City because out of the three, it was the goodest. And I normally don't do this. I normally don't get this super serial Captain Crunch, but I'm going to make an exception because I spent the last however long this video is wearing a Batman mask with sunglasses. One day, Terpats. I'm going to make a big boy video explaining why I think Arkham City is perhaps, I'm just going to say it, the greatest video game ever made. If not one of the greatest. Definitely one of the greatest. But I don't know. If I have conversations with my wizardly colleagues about the greatest games of all time, this one specifically usually comes up. So I tend to agree. Justice. Okie dokie. Where am I? Games in the remake or remaster. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. You could probably just go ahead and remake the other two also, but if I had to pick one, I would just pick 3. This video is brought to you by me because I made it and my Patreon supporters. If you like what I do and wish to support me, it's only $2. As always, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Bye.